Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weird Ventures. My name is Derek, and we are playing Curse of Strahd. A marvelous campaign with plenty of its own twists that I've thrown in there to spice things up. We're missing a couple of folks today, but I think we're going to be getting... Miguel will at least be showing up later on. But as far as the people we have goes, we will start by introducing them. So, to start us off, let's have Balthazar introduce themselves.
I'm always surprised I go first with the fact that it's a consistent thing. Hello, I'm Cosmic, currently playing Balthazar, the Azimar Grave Cleric.
Yes, indeed. Next up, we've got Aina.
I don't know why I was waiting for like 4 other people. I'm just used to that. Hello, my name is RJ. I'm playing Aina the Halfling Enchantment Wizard.
It's all good. And then our third and final until Mig shows up, Ophelia.
Hi, my name is Corey. I'll be playing Ophelia, the Triton Warlock Sorcerer.
Yes, indeed. And with the three of yous here today, would any or actually before I get into deciding our recap, so y'all think on if you want to recap for Sweet Delicious Inspiration, just allow me to say that if you want to catch up with our adventures, watch how we got to where we currently are in the plot, I highly recommend going to Weird Ventures on YouTube. All of our episodes are right there for you to watch and catch up. Give us a follow or a subscribe to us on there. Give us a like. Follow us for Twitch. Follow us on Twitch. But yeah, do that stuff. It's good. It makes me happy. It makes my players happy. And it'll make yourself happy. But yeah. Would any of the three of you like to recap today, or shall I take it away?
You can do it. I will say, Derek,
Yes.
I'm not seeing the silvered bolts in my inventory.
Shit. Alright, I will fix that shortly. But sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Were you saying that you are going to do it, or you'll let me do it?
You know what? My notes are pretty shit, so no.
Damn, alright. Well, in that case, I will go ahead and take over, and I'll add the silver stuff to y'all's sheets while you're doing roleplay, because I imagine you're going to be doing a bit of that today. So, last time, y'all's adventure, you were still sort of recovering from your battle with Strahd and hanging out in the bar, chatting with each other and decompressing after that large battle, discussing what you wanted to do about the invitation Strahd gave you, and also just thinking about maybe what your next move is going to be. You did get a visit from Vasily von Holz, who is quite the handsome lad who was shocked that you had a encounter with Strahd, and he delivered those silver items that we were just talking about to all of you, and also offered you a book by Rudolf van Richten, who is quite the skilled monster hunter. If the stories Vasily told you about him being saved by Van Richten are in fact true. So, y'all got the book and have been learning a couple of facts about the creatures of the night. I believe Penny looked into it to learn a bit about werewolves. So, y'all are picking up a couple of neat facts there. In addition to that, though, uh, let's see what all else happened in the bar. Ah, yes, yeah, there was an encounter with the man named Harry and Porum. Porum decided to help him out a little bit, help him sneak out with his newfound money, so now he can properly purchase a room, which was quite kind. And then there was a intimate scene with Ina and Vasily. A little bit of flirting going on. Proposition was offered, but Vasily sadly didn't necessarily decline, but seems he's the type who is looking for something more than just a little bit of fun. It did leave an air of melancholy about the night. In the meantime, though, Penny and Porum and Biner decided to do a sleepover, and Irina joined for a little bit. As they had a couple of discussions, you learned a little bit about the strange dreams and visions that Irina has. And you also read a little bit more of Donovich's very, very sad journal that you stole. Well, Penny stole. But anyway, he probably won't miss that. It's not like it's his one coping mechanism. After that, y'all went to sleep and had a myriad of dreams. Biner spoke with their more feral lycanthrope half, and it seems as though the two managed to come to some kind of understanding with each other, though maybe a bit uneasy. Penny spoke with the Night Caller, learned a little bit more about his backstory, though he is a bit evasive. He did teach Penny how to levitate, which was quite neat. Fortunately, Balthazar got the worse end of the things that somebody could get. Balthazar had a night terror, and upon waking, felt as if they had gotten no rest at all, feeling exhausted in the morning, seeing visions of their lost love. Ina doing what they can to comfort him. That is about where we left off. The only person who is left to see how their night goes would be that of Ophelia. So Ophelia, fortunately, we did have you hit the bed a little bit early last week. So you went downstairs, you got ready for sleep. And I do know that Ophelia does have a tendency to reach out in their sleep sometimes, or maybe reach out before falling asleep. So, do you think that Ophelia would be doing some such thing tonight?
Yeah, I guess like before she'd maybe if she has like the ring to herself, I assume she does.
Yes, Penny ran off to a Viner. So you do.
She'd probably take the time to like meditate then, and see if she could contact her ever elusive patron.
Alright. How would you attempt to make contact?
Yet again, she'd probably like cross her legs, do any type of like breathing, like a small breathing exercise, and then she'd reach out, just being Zuden, I need you to answer me.
Right. As you reach out, make me a religion roll.
Oh boy. There we go.
This is a 6. You make an attempt, but you've had a very long day. Very frightening day. Those things linger in your mind, even as you try to meditate. It's hard to perhaps attain the focus that you would like.
I think if she doesn't get anything, she's not going to try to tempt it, at least now.
Mm-hmm.
She can always try again in the morning.
All right. So she would fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And as you fall asleep, your eyes close. Your mind would bask in the darkness of the inside of your eyelids, wandering amongst that dark as the faint light of your candle slowly fades. It will be replaced in your dreams by a new light, that of a green star, not answering your call while you are conscious, but instead revealing itself to you here in your dreams. It does glow before you, though there doesn't seem to be anything else in this place, not even a floor beneath your feet. In fact, it reminds you of home, as if you are floating.
I guess just seeing the star. Does it look like? It sounds like kind of funny to be like, what does it look like? But
Yeah.
is there anything particular about it besides the fact that it's green?
Because this is your subconscious dreamscape, you can roll an insight to try and discern a clear image.
Okay. Ugh.
It is quite bright for a star. Nothing quite like a sun, of course, but it does a distinct shine. One that is very reminiscent of what you saw glowing in the Barovian night. But you can't discern any extra details from it, other than the fact that it is here, presenting itself to you.
I take it I find myself in your company finally, Zuden.
It continues to shine, does not deign to answer this, but it doesn't disappear either.
My understanding is there's no rhyme or reason for who you choose to wield your powers. But if I could make a request, if you could be of some help, there's a small girl by the name of Gertruda that is missing. And if it's the one thing I can try to do to make Barovia just a little bit better, I would like to find her. Do you know anything about where she might be?
It's at this time that the light of the star begins to dim, though it doesn't wink out like you might expect. The light doesn't fade into itself. It's as if something is descending in front of it, as if some unknowably large, unknowably distant eyelid is closing shut. It simply says, "I brought back the one you had lost, as you asked. Is that not enough?"
Under normal circumstances, I would assume so, but I really would like to help this person. I already know I'm in your debt. But please, I beg of you, if you know something, please share it with me.
You are in my debt once, and I have not reclaimed that debt yet. Would you offer me anything a second time?
Yes, I would.
The star returns ever so slightly, as if the eyelid only barely opened. Almost appears as though this glowing green crescent to be a Cheshire-like smile glancing down on you. You are sure?
I don't have a very high regard of myself, and when I set off on this journey, I did so knowing full well that I might not come back. So yes.
Very well. I will tell you where she is. And as it says that, the eye once more closes shut. And as it closes shut, you yourself snap awake. You aren't where you fell asleep in your bed. You are at your desk. And you're holding something in your hand.
I'm gonna look at what it is.
It's the invitation to Strahd's castle. And looking at it, you feel perhaps not pleasantly as if this is the answer to your question.
She's at Strahd's castle. Fuck. Oh, I'm sure that'll be something to tell the others in the morning.
Looking at a clock on the wall, you would note that it is the morning.
Well, I guess no time like the present. And she'll get up.
Oh, speaking of it being the morning, do make sure you hit the long rest button.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 1 HP.
What can I say?
Sad cosmic noises.
Then yeah, I think she'll just kind of make her way upstairs.
There's you go. Auric is there already starting to make up a nice breakfast for all of yous. As you go and take a seat at the bar. And we'll now hop back over to Ina and Balthazar. Balthazar, I imagine you're still recovering from that nightmare, still looking disheveled.
Yeah, more than a little haggard. But he is, like, whatever tension had been building from the nightmare is, like, slowly kind of draining with Ina's help. It's essentially hot pack they've made of their own hand. Whoa, what was Ina doing with the prestidigitation again?
So with prestidigitation, you can like make a cubic foot heat up like anywhere. So Ina would have chose like Balthazar's clothes on the back specifically.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's just calming down from that.
Are you gonna be okay for like 2 seconds? I have to grab something in the other room. To put my mind use it mostly, but
He'll shake his head. I'll be fine. Thank you.
yes, well, I know it's just a little flustered from just, I guess, being close to Balthazar in a sense, and is gonna just hurriedly go towards the room, like, peek their head here because they're looking for Penny specifically, not in there. Just kind of see them all there and just immediately
You'd open the
start-
door and see Penny snoring and floating. We'll say that the book is on the bench.
Excellent. I know, just gonna quietly, quote unquote, like as quiet as one can be, just kind of come in and just snatch the book and come back to their room.
Excellent.
and gonna, just without saying a word, start looking through anything with Balthazar symptoms that would relate towards ethereal beings or things of nightmares.
Yeah. Roll me the one history check a day you get.
Balthazar kind of had been kind of drowsing while Ina was gone, and kind of blinks his eyes open and like leans towards them. What's that?
We were gifted a book yesterday from Vasily. It's a guide to monster hunting, essentially. I'm just gonna point to the cover as they're searching through the index, trying to look.
Yes. Will take you a little bit. By that I mean I've almost got all of the silver items people's inventories. So, if you want to roleplay while you look, just while I finish this up.
I'm hoping that it'll. Well, from what Eli was talking about, I'm pretty sure helping the inn owner upstairs meant that whatever was attached to the inn or is at the inn, maybe, kind of thought you were a snack.
So you think it might have shifted targets?
It's very likely. I mean, it could just be the bed right there. Something was standing over Porm the other day.
You said it was some sort of ethereal being.
We have a lot of folklore in my tribe that kind of matches up to something similar, but I don't think it's the same thing. But it would feast on, people's dreams, but it wasn't corporeal, it was in a different plane of existence. It would just feed through the veil, so to speak. Things we tell children to give them more nightmares sometimes.
More nightmares, or is it simply making sure they behave? Also, beer real quick. I'm being called away. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Rip.
no. Well, for when they come back, I can now give you the info. So, as you look through this book, you would find an entry that does seem to match up. It describes beings of nightmare that take on many different forms. They are usually originally humanoids corrupted by dark magic, though they do have the ability to reproduce by corrupting other souls. Sometimes they are referred to as night hags, other times boogeymen, beings that prey on one's nightmares, fears, and taste souls. Searching for souls of evil that they steal and feed on later, or sometimes just tormenting the souls of those who are good. Reading through, it seems that they do, in fact, have the ability to more or less, at will, travel between the ethereal and material plane.
Is there anything about once they have like a target, they're on them, or like if we leave, does it come with us?
Uh, Reading about it seems that it depends on the individual's personality and if they have a motive to stick with somebody. It seems like more often than not they're hunters of convenience, but you know, personality determines all things. They are intelligent creatures, after all, as Van Richten puts it.
Is there anything about either dispelling or just getting rid of them, pulling them into our plane to get rid of them kind of thing?
You would not have anything of sort on that you'd be able to find out today. Because sadly, you are only able to really ask one question per day with the book. It is, I will say, the book is more or less just a series of notes that have been stapled in there, so it's not very well organized. It is a little bit hard to flip through. That is my excuse for having the book work the way it does. All the vampire stuff is neatly organized. It seems like that was its focus, but for everything else, it is you get a one answer per day.
So does that mean if we read it for vampires, we can read the whole thing easily enough?
Yes. Basically, the way I'm ruling it is at any point you can ask me a question about vampires, and so long as I know it would be reasonable that that is in the book, I will just let you know in the moment the answer to that question. But for other monsters, you get one answer a day.
Okay.
My ask was basically the pinning down what it was.
Yes.
Okay. I know it's just gonna.
I will let you know that they are considered fiends.
Ooh. Interesting.
This guy's an asshole. This book sucks. It's the easiest way I can. I feel like if I shook this book, everything's gonna go flying out of it.
Thanks for the Balthazar. That doesn't. It seems about right for a handmade guide to specific beings, or at least a general. He shakes his head. I've seen my Shishongs and my Shijia's final works when they're compiling notes. It's not all that dissimilar.
So I think I know what it is. There's just not a lot of. I would have to sift through this over a long period of time, probably tomorrow, and try to find how to get rid of it. It might not be attached to you. It's fiendish though, and you speak infernal, if I remember correctly.
I do.
And you spoke to Ja. If you're visited again in your dreams, maybe you could talk to it through infernal. Throw it off.
Maybe if I become aware of it, in the way dreams can be at times, they can seem all far too real in the moment. It's not until you wake that you remember that it was simply a dream.
Well, the good news is it's not eating you, it's just tormenting you. Till you die. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That is usually the way these things go.
Where is it? I'm just gonna, like, kind of pat down their pockets and, just pull out a feather and stick it in the book so they can find the place where they were last.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of tuck the book away.
Is the others alright, did you see?
They were passed out on Viner's bed, which I feel a little bad for him. He specifically got the bed for himself, and everyone was piled in there.
Well, I assume by everyone you mean Penny and Porum. I believe Ophelia did
Oh,
go
shit, she
down
wasn't even in
before
her
I...
room. She's awake somewhere. I'm sorry, I was
She's
blind. Blindsided. No, that's not the great word.
distracted?
My gaze was narrowed at something that needed to be done and fulfilled.
I think that is more than fine. We should probably check in on her, or at least find her.
Right.
Oh,
The two of y'all begin making your way out. I will say, because you might see them in the hallway. Forum. It's around this time that we'll have you wake up. Maybe you're hearing people shuffling in the hallway. As you rustle to wakefulness. Penny is still floating as they snore. Biner is sleeping soundly, Porum.
Porum's just going to walk over to Penny on their side of the bed and just push their body back into the bed and tuck them back so that way they're not floating anymore.
I love it.
And it's gonna Drew craft them a little flower, another little sunflower, and just put it in their hair. And actually, I'll put it on the foot of the bed and start walking out.
Aw.
Love it.
That way, Biner and Penny can share it.
Yeah. So how is Ophelia looking this morning as the three of our buds make their way up? The stairway is in the opposite direction. Though if you do want to
Is
go to the
there-
bathroom first, you can.
I was gonna ask, is there anything in the bathroom?
No, both
That's right,
stalls
they
are
left.
open.
That's right, they left.
Yeah,
Forgot for 2 seconds. Thank you.
well, it's all good.
Ah, damn stairs.
But yeah, how is Ophelia looking as our three other friends make their way up?
She's probably looking about as normal as possible.
Totally didn't
You know.
make a deal with a dark entity last night.
Yeah, no big deal.
No,
Yeah, everything's fine.
It's all
Everything's
good.
A-okay.
They don't need to worry about it.
how does Balthazar look as Balthazar walks up? I guess will be the more important question.
Oh. He looks a little bit more... frazzled isn't the right word, but he isn't as put together as he usually is. Kind of forgot to just straighten himself up. His hair is a little bit in like a tousled braid. Like a tiny tousled braid. And as he does get closer, I think Ophelia would be able to notice that there are just the slight beginnings of dark circles under his eyes.
Looks like you had a rough night.
Yes, Arik, that was going to be my thoughts exactly. Balthazar, did you sleep okay?
No, not in particular, but he glances over to where Ina's sitting. Ina seems to be figuring out what it might be.
Did something have trouble with your dreams? Or did you have trouble with your dreams?
did. How did you know?
It's the thing that was keeping. Is the name Goric?
Yes,
That's the name.
that is the name.
It's the same symptoms that Goric, one of the tavern owners, was having when we brewed him the tea. Something, we at least theorized, and what Ina had stated would possibly be holding on to, or, I don't know if feasting on their dreams was the right term, but they surmised it might be an ethereal being. Did they find something else out?
It might not just be dreams. It seems to be feasting on uh, negative emotions, I think. How they described it. Bad dreams is what it causes, and it feasts on
Soul.
what
To
comes
feast on
from
your
that.
soul. Good morning, Art. Can I have a breakfast?
Finley, would you like the vegetarian option or something with a bit of meat on it?
The vegetarian is fine.
Very well. He will
Good morning. I'll fix
go
you.
about getting all of that set up as you promptly ditch Porum.
Listen, I wanted that breakfast and I had to ask. And
Or
I'm
can
short enough to
enjoy it
sneak
very
up.
easily.
I wanted the breakfast.
He will begin preparing it for you.
Good morning. Okay, bye, Ina. Anyways, do we know
How are
that
you?
it's? I'm doing just wonderful this morning.
I didn't just mean this morning. How are you, Ophelia?
Do I really have to answer this right now?
What's the read Balthazar can get on her at this moment?
Um, she's pulling plays from the Balthazar playbook of doesn't want to talk about it, staring off into the middle distance.
Ah, yes, classic. He'll sort of frown and hesitantly just reach out to put a hand over hers. You don't have to at this moment, if it would be too difficult, but we are here for you. Hopefully you know that.
I do, but I don't like that I have to keep airing my dirty laundry in front of everybody.
He shakes his head. You don't have to if you don't want to.
It's not that. You guys know. She'll sort of scoff as she sort of says noble, like I'm of noble birth. It's not that I never, not that I didn't, I just didn't want you guys to know. I didn't expect to have my mind altered and just reveal it flat out.
There kind of has a look of sympathy and will squeeze her hand. Probably wasn't how you'd wanted us to know, if you even wanted us to. But I hope you can at least be slightly assured I won't treat you any differently because of it.
I hope so. And I do hope the same goes for the others.
Zara kind of glance over his shoulder. From what I've seen of our group so far, it doesn't seem as though they'll be too bothered by it. But
It's
As oh, sorry, not to interrupt.
Oh.
I was just gonna say, as Balthazar glances over their shoulder, you would see as Arik is setting down a bowl next to Aina, that is filled with small loops of grain. I call these honey nut Sombri-os. Would you like any, Mr. Porum?
Sure.
I'll make you a bowl as well.
Why are they called Sombri-os?
Well, another adventurer came through here and taught me how to make them once. They called them Cheerios. They said there wasn't much cheer here, so this seemed to fit better.
Is it just the bowl of like Cheerios, just no milk?
Well, he offered to go get milk if you like milk.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
No, I'm about to sit here just eating a fistful of Cheerios.
No. He offered to go
That's
grab
cowardice.
some if you like, but as he would say, in my experience, not everyone likes milk. Some people it gives them an upset tummy. But yes,
Most people are weak.
And this is why we think you'd be a perfect mayor.
Exactly. You're so thoughtful towards.
So considerate.
Yeah.
oh dear, that would be
I work
quite
for
the
mayor.
responsibility.
Petting your Sombri-os.
That's right. Got a patent of Sombrios. But he will come back with a little jug of goat's milk that you can use for it.
Delicious.
Oh yes.
Tangy.
Sorry, not to interrupt Balthazar and Ophelia's talk as you were saying.
It's not. I don't think any of them have maybe like a displeasure for nobles, but it's also just being treated like some sort of frail porcelain doll. I can't stand it.
yeah, I think if anyone in our group is considered a porcelain doll, that's Aina, not you. You're stronger than you know.
Thank you. I just, like I said, just now know that I'm some failure of a daughter who can't heal like her parents. It's why finding healing magic, no matter the cost, was so important.
Have it now, at least.
I do. And as much as possible, I plan to do just hopefully as much good as I can. I know I probably seemed cold about the zombie, but in my mind, it's that person is already gone. Whereas someone like Gertruda is somebody that we could hopefully still save.
I think it might just be a matter of perspective. We all simply agree to disagree on these sorts of things, I think.
No, that's okay. You should eat something or get some water.
Yes. Would you like a bowl of Sombrios, perhaps? They are quite nutritious.
I suppose.
Made with real honey. And he will make you a bowl.
There's no sun here. How the hell does he get honey if the bees need the flowers and the flowers just don't exist?
That's a
Night
good
flowers
question.
exist, hun.
No.
Yes.
But the
It's true.
bees are day bees.
There
The
there are
bees.
nocturnal bees.
We are in a different realm.
It's true.
There are night
Bees.
bees.
I'm sorry that your fantasy bees aren't just
Aren't realistic.
yeah.
He's getting them from the sea bees.
Not the sea bees.
Yes.
Fucking 3 campaigns of sea bees. When am I seeing one?
The sea bee. Listen, you just keep blinking and you keep missing them. We've seen the sea bees.
True.
CBs.
Yes, he will make a bowl of Sombri-os for Balthazar and Ophelia, if Ophelia would like them.
Yes, I would love one. A bowl. Thank you.
It's the best way to start your day.
Say, Arik,
Yes.
do you happen to know where a girl might be able to find something that isn't moonshine or grappa?
Well, technically there are many things that are not those two things, but I'm assuming you mean an alcoholic beverage.
That would be correct.
Well, wine used to be one of the very few pleasures that we did enjoy here in Barovia. You saw Erwin making his way through just the other day, I believe, yes.
Mm-hmm.
His family owns a winery quite some ways away from here. That's where the grappa comes from. It used to produce, well, quite a marvelous variety of wines. I don't know how they were making it. It's quite hard to grow grapes here, you can imagine. But it was, well, it was the sole delight for many people who live in this realm. But as the years have gone by, even that seems to have been drying up, where all we have left is grappa, but we can make ourselves with a bit of wheat.
And there's no other types of... There's no other way to get anything different?
Well, wine does last quite a while. You might be able to find some somewhere, but all of my stock has run out quite a long time ago. Perhaps there are some nobles who might have some stored in their cellars up in Vallaki. Perhaps if you find Erwin at the Blue Water Inn, or perhaps his sister, you could speak with one of them, see if they might know. All of the wine we receive here has, truth be told, been given to us as charity by the Martikov family.
Derek, could you spell that?
Yes. Oh, I forgot an R. There we go.
Okay. You said Erwin or his sister?
Yes.
His
Sister's name is bloop 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 Danica.
Okay. Of course, I spelled with the C. All right. Well, thank you for the information.
Of course. If you could get the wine flowing again somehow, it would no doubt be quite the boon in these lands.
I'll see what I can do. I'm sorry, Balthazar. I didn't mean to just switch gears there. It's just sort of a personal quest for me.
You're more than fine. But if I might ask, why are you looking for alcohol? Or at least something other than what's being served?
I'm hoping to give it to someone as a gift.
So kind of tilts his head with like a slight narrowing of his eye, and his eyes just there is just the most minuscule quirk to his brow.
Arik also seems to be interested.
Can't I want to give gifts to people?
No, that's understandable. He's just gonna ask in Celestial. Is it for Dahlia?
You're probably gonna see just a little, like a slight embarrassed look sort of wash over her, and she'll nod her head.
Ah. Alright then. Hopefully we'll find something for you. I don't know how much exactly is left. I haven't checked since we went through the Citadel, but I did have a bottle of sake in my bag.
I've never had it.
It's strong. Perhaps perhaps later tonight we can share a drink.
Sure. I look forward to it.
Balthazar will smile and nod to her. Should we go join the others, do you think? And he's looking over to where probably looks over at when Forum starts being dramatic.
Yes, we can join them. I just need to grab my Cheerios from the Seabees.
Sombri-os.
That's right, the Sombri-os. Well, as they approach the table, I believe there's still a bit of a stare down going on between Ina and Forum, as Ina is asking why everybody was piled into Biner's bed last night, and Forum is claiming claiming that the suspicion must be because there's something on Forum's face.
Yep.
Sorry, what did I miss?
Porum was just regaling me with what they were doing with Penny and Biner in their rooms last night.
Oh,
Mm.
We get locked in.
You're not locked in here with me.
Oh, someone has just
Interrogation
entered.
time.
And,
As you'll talk.
God.
I
So, tell them, Horum.
Well, if Porum won't talk, I would only just assume it's one of those orgies you hear so much about.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
Balthazar gives
Oh.
Ophelia a weird look.
Ina's just gonna choke a little bit on
Arik.
their Sombri-os and hit their chest.
Arik and the dwarf who has just entered the building turn for a moment.
Oh, come now, don't be so prude. Having multiple partners is nothing to be ashamed of.
It's less that, Ophelia, and more.
I mean, it could be a size thing on their part, honestly.
Mm,
I'm just gonna sit next to Balthazar. I'm small enough.
While you're recovering from this, the dwarf who's just entered, who I will now reveal they look like a little bit, does turn back to Arik. Says, I don't suppose I could buy a room? And Arik glances at the party, glances back at the door, says, I'm afraid all of our rooms are full at the moment. Though, from the sounds of it, perhaps you could convince one of them to let you, He glances back at Porum again, back at him, join them.
Balthazar has his face in his hands.
You just made me spit my soda out from laughing too much. It's all over my notebook.
Maybe I'll just get some food, and maybe there will be a room that clears up later on tonight. Yes, certainly. And he will go and get the dwarf some food.
You should try the Sombri-os.
That is exactly what he is trying.
Horum's
I
just
did
like,
not want that image in my head. And Balthazar is just, again, head in hands, just rubbing at his forehead.
Horum's just like, what's the right word for this? He's just like quickly eating his Sombri-os as like fast as possible, just devouring them just to get out of this room and out of the situation.
Careful.
His
Horum,
face is
don't
incredibly
choke.
red. I hate both of you right now.
Fine. This is very much how I felt last night. And Einer's just gonna tilt their head to the side and just kind of smile.
Horum's eyes just go a little bigger, just starts eating faster.
Balthazar lifts
Threat
his head up
detected.
and looks between the two and glances over at Ophelia real quick. And just, there's like a slight bit of confusion in his eyes.
Balthazar, I was asleep. I don't know what happened last night.
Fair enough. What did happen when we both left early?
We had some drinks. We all sat where we were sitting, and we talked about what we were gonna do with Strahd's letter.
And the consensus for it?
It would be stupid not to go.
Figured as much.
But there is no timeline on that. We just should go.
And go ahead.
I was just going to say, what are the orders of business here? Because it seems like we have something that's clearly bothering Balthazar and the owner. But
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
So I know kind of what is bothering Balthazar, or what is siphoning energy from Balthazar, more or less. It's a night hag, or commonly known as like a boogeyman.
That's basically, by the way, to clear things up, because we've all been playing D&D for a while. Boogeyman is basically what I use for a masculine version of hag, so same idea.
I just was
different.
picturing
Okay.
a hag in disco wear just dancing.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
You saying the boogeyman also think of Michael Myers?
What's that?
Oh, when RJ says the boogeyman, I think of Michael Myers.
Oh,
And if it was
It's-
Michael Myers, Balthazar is more than happy to submit. Let's be real.
It's Boogie Woogie from the Powerpuff Girls, guys.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Oh god. But it's actually, it's not. I wouldn't call it eating because it only eats on evil souls, or so the book said. Well, no offense, Balthazar, you don't really seem.
I'll also
I
sorry. I'll also clarify one other thing because I think I might have flubbed my words a little bit trying to describe this. It does have to taste somebody to figure out if they're an evil soul. So there's the possibility that maybe it was just giving Balthazar, a little lick,
Too?
just being like,
A good night poke for Balthazar. Gotta.
Oh, that's even worse.
Little nipple.
Which now makes me more sus the innkeeper. It's like, it does like to torment the good though. It's, giving its little digits into your soul. Give it a little feel.
Eyes up, the cinnamon roll sitting right next to me.
Ophelia.
Balthazar makes a face.
go ahead and roll me an insight if you would, hearing this stuff.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah. You will recall when you were figuring out what was going on with him, one of his symptoms was in the nightmares he was having, he was being directed to do evil acts and was resisting it. And supposedly the nightmares were trying to convince him that they would stop if he did do evil acts. Another thing to keep in mind.
Balthazar,
Yes?
did these dreams have anything to do with trying to, I don't know, have you commit an act that you wouldn't normally commit?
From what, out of character, Derek, from what I recall from the dream, that would be a yes, right? Because it was
Little
trying
bit.
to drink.
Yes. To drink
Uh,
the blood of somebody. Well, drink the blood of anybody would be quite out of character for Balthazar, I'd like to imagine.
mhm. He's vividly reminded of what happened. It just puts a hand over his mouth. I think so. It was not a pleasant experience.
Worst part is that out of the dream, that bit was the most pleasurable part. There was a very real pleasure in that moment, though. Thinking back on it now certainly does make your stomach curl.
Yeah, no, Balthazar shivers a little bit and just shakes his head. It was, well, a nightmare to say the least. I think I was being guided to drink someone's of someone. And the fact that before I woke, it was one of the most euphoric feelings I'd felt in a long time. Shook me more than most nightmares I'd had since I started traveling alone.
Aina, did that match anything that you'd read?
While it's trying to push the person into committing evil acts, more than likely it's trying to create its own snack.
Oh, so it's grooming Balthazar to be evil?
Or it's attempting to. If it can only eat on evil souls, and there's only, well, the only one I know about is up at the castle, I'll be honest. And it can't eat him, it's gonna try to think of it
Cultivate?
like, yes, it's trying to pick and choose people it likes enough to probably eat, and seeing how easily somebody can be pushed. I know it's gonna get quiet at that, it's just like,
Something on your mind, Aina?
if it's looking for somebody easier to push, why wouldn't it go for a more neutral party versus somebody that's based in helping somebody else?
Maybe it takes more joy in that, like a hunting type of thing. It finds it more amusing, entertainment wise.
Maybe. It does like the torment.
Eric, what kind of
Yes.
role? Considering Balthazar, like, it's not specifically in these sorts of creatures exactly, but from his experience as part of his order,
Mm-hmm.
would he have at least some understanding as to why a particular being would do something like that? Like, it targets something that is harder to get, essentially.
You can roll me a religion if you like.
Religion.
Is
In the
right.
meantime, Porum's gonna give Balthazar the flower crown that he's making and place it on his head, and it's just going to say, "For good dreams."
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, with a 15, Balthazar, I will tell you something like this is, again, you're dealing with an intelligent creature here that has its own personality. It would be hard to determine without figuring out some way to communicate and speak with it, or, general information, I guess, won't help you here. You need specific information.
Okay. In any case, I might just be utterly dependent on who this creature might be. If it is as intelligent as
Oh.
you've read, as you've said, Aina.
Actually, I did just think of something else I could give you with a 15, though.
Oh?
Yeah. Its job might be easier for somebody who is already prone to nightmares. Or has plenty of material to work with.
That's the whole party right there.
Yeah. Got a whole buffet. He'll kind of pause mid explanation as that thought comes to him. It might have to do with how often its targets are prone to nightmares. I think I might know the reason why it targeted me last night, considering the night before.
You have been dealing with a lot of triggering things from what I remember.
Yeah.
Not just that. I was hoping that Binur and Penny would be awake enough for this, but, well, I'll simply have to explain it again. And he runs like a hand a little bit through his hair. It's kind of careful with the flower crown so it doesn't get knocked off. Ophelia, I know you'd already gone inside of the crypt when I'd asked this, but he looks to Porum and Aina. You remember the name I'd asked Strahd about before the fight, and before Ophelia got charmed?
I remember you asking him a question about a name, but I'm not that good with names, unfortunately, so I don't remember exactly what the name is.
Mikal.
There we go. Thank you, Aina.
You're welcome. Alright,
So odd.
okay. I was like, am I pronouncing that right?
Out of character, I've been pronouncing it as Mikhail, but, like,
Kyle.
hold on, wait, I'll spell it out for y'all.
Mikhail.
Yeah,
Mikhail.
Mikhail. Just be as American as possible with it. Mikhail.
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 Mickey D.
Good old
Mickey
Dave.
D.
nuts.
Oh, got him.
Thanks, hon, for giving me the same fucking joke that we.
Listen, I couldn't not.
I remember it was you mumbled, or from what I heard, I believe it was Mikhail. Is that someone you knew?
Oh, in a manner of speaking. He looked to Ophelia and then looked down at the table, kind of hands, like, just sort of crossed over each other and gripping tightly. He was a vampire I came across years back. My partner and I were sent to investigate him, and during the fight, he was able to kill my partner, though at the time I was still powerful enough and had the means to bring him back. But something went wrong, and from my vision in the mist, and from what my lady had been able to share with me with my time there, I have reason to believe that vampire took over and has been possessing my partner's body for some time, for the years since he first disappeared. The confirmation that he is very much here in Barovia, though I had an inkling, the casual confirmation of it brought, well, to say the least, it shook me badly. It did not help that all else that came after. And the knowledge that Strahd is more than likely informing him that I'm here now.
Didn't you say ask Strahd not to?
I'm gonna be honest, out of character, I don't know if Balthazar actually asked out loud for Strahd not to make mention of it.
I think you did.
He might have refused, though.
Well, that was before the fight, so I don't know since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to say. Also, even if he said he wouldn't, if he would keep to his word.
Mm-hmm. I'd find it unlikely that he wouldn't make mention of it. They are co-workers, I think he described them as.
Oh, workers?
That's
I don't think he actually said that. Those
Did he
were
not?
just. Did he?
Out of character?
Yeah, I think that
I
was
thought
me
it was a
describing. No, I think that was me describing the tone of voice he was using. Of
Never
like,
mind. I will
oh,
take
you
that
know
back then.
Mikhail, in the same like
In the
voice
same
one might
department.
use. Yeah. Not
Alright, I will-
saying
He works-
what his
he works in
relationship
sales.
actually is, but yeah.
In HR, where he works in sales, we talk all the time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will rescind that comment.
It
Then.
had that feeling to it, but he never explicitly stated what the relationship was.
Okay, good to know. I rescind that comment then.
All good.
Listen, my memory's not all that good either.
Well, I guess that's just another thing we'll have to deal with on the road. Sorry, I came out wrong. We have a whole list of problems, and honestly, what is one more at this point? We'll deal with it when the time comes. But you have brain is
We're-
failing.
We're
Oh.
here for you, is what Ina's trying to
Yes!
say, Balthazar.
Thank you. Fucking hell.
It's okay, Ina. It's been a long 48 hours. You almost died again. Do you mind if I ask what your partner's name was, Balthazar?
Mitsuhide. His name was Mitsuhide. I will also type that out.
My
There
dumb
we go.
American brain wanted a Z and not an S.
And do you remember what he looks like? So if we run into him, we can kind of keep an eye out.
I do have a small portrait of him. It's still in my bag. I haven't taken it out quite yet. It's one of the few things I took with me. But I can show it to you. It's just gonna be a couple minutes, but he will go down, look through his bag, come back up, and show a picture of Mitsu.
Would-
Hold on. I'll put this in cool art. Derek, if you could, I know I sent the OG design for him, or if you have that already ready, you could do it through the theater thing.
Yeah, let me see. I'll link it and you can tell me if it's the right one. Doyos one. Is that the one?
Where is it?
It should be appearing on everyone's screen.
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought it was gonna be DM. Yeah, it's that one.
Excellent.
He's awfully pretty.
No,
Balthazar has like
Supposed to
a
say you're sorry.
Well, I am sorry. I'm sorry. It's just he's a pretty person, and I thought maybe if I said a compliment, maybe make you feel better.
Balthazar gets like just the slightest twitch to his lip, like it's curling up, just the slightest bit. He was very, very handsome. And, he kind of brushes over the sketch a little bit. To Ophelia, though, it does look. It is essentially like looking at identical twins with like just different expressions. It does look similar to, if you're thinking about it, it does look very similar to the sketch that was in Gertruda's room.
The pretty boy one.
the pretty boy.
Yeah, the pretty boy with all the hearts.
Yeah.
Is that why you had that reaction in her room? That wasn't just because it was a vampire. She drew him, didn't she?
He nods and then stops mid-nod and shakes his head. It was his features, and it was his physicality, but the way she drew him was not at all how Mitsu would have looked.
Is it? I'm sorry if this seems really brash. How did Mikael take over Mitsu? Because with werewolves, it's, well, Ophelia is Ophelia still. I don't understand how somebody could transfer themselves into another person. No, I do understand that in a different sense. That is a whole weird no. Vampire brain.
Is it almost like demonic possession?
I don't know. For the longest time, I simply thought he's still kind of just looking down at the small sketch. The way he'd gone down in that fight, he'd pushed me out of the way as the vampire tried to take a bite. He bit Mitsu instead. And Mitsu had fallen. I got him back up, and once the vampire was taken care of, we'd done as we always do when it comes to putting the dead to rest. I'm not sure what exactly happened, what could have caused Mikhail to somehow possess Mitsu, but I only know from what my lady has told me. Mitsu's been trapped in his own body for years. And it seems as though Mikhail is the one in charge, so to speak. I can't tell you any specifics for anything of certainty until I see him again, but I honestly would prefer not to. Though, at least not right now. I hope to one day put a stop to him, and perhaps free Mitsu from the torment he's likely been put under.
I take it since you saw him in the mist. I think I've already asked you this. There's no hope of removing Mikhail from his body and returning his soul.
Was that the kind of vibe Balthazar got from his understanding of what the lady in shadow had told him before?
It was the vibe that it might be too late to bring Mitsuhide back, but
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily mean that, his current existence isn't one of suffering.
Suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks to Ophelia. Whether or not I can actually get Mitsuhide back is of little importance to me. I just want to set him free. I want to ensure he gets the rest he should have had. The one eye. He kind of chokes up a little bit and folds back up the drawing and puts it away into his kind of not overcoat, but like the sort of underlayer he has under it, like the sort of black layer with the darker lining, as seen in his thing. But he kind of tucks it away in there. The one I failed to give him that night when he first escaped.
Well, I'd be willing to help you with that. Damn it, Derek.
Give Ophelia just like a wobbly kind of smile. Thank you. I would appreciate it.
Rude, RJ. Very rude.
Didn't see which one he went into, so I was like, where'd he go?
Jesus.
He's locking the door.
No.
But yes.
This shit's too dark. Start slamming doors.
Alright. So again, what is our game plan then? It doesn't seem like we have to accept the invitation.
We really should.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but just in terms of right now?
We can always send a letter and be like, yes, we would love to go to dinner with you, O Lord Strahd. We will be on our best behavior. Please don't bury me alive again.
Is that how you'd actually write a
You
letter?
hear a voice in your
No.
head saying, "Oh, good, you've accepted my invite." No. No.
No.
It'd be
Give
fun,
us
though.
panic attacks here, Derek. Stop, please.
No, I would much rather just send a letter with just a middle finger.
That would be a drawing, not a letter.
Should I write "fuck you" just
Yes.
underneath?
You
Yeah.
should.
Dear Lord Strahd, fuck you. And sign the P team.
No. Not this again.
Should we actually come up with like a name for our group?
This is the session to do
I
it.
would like for another name. I think creative as Penny is, it's
That wasn't Penny. That was Binur.
Yeah, it was.
Penny gave us P names, though.
Penny was the cause. She is a sweet young girl, but I think Biner indulges her a bit too much.
I feel like he's not the only one. Just gonna kind of poker head it for him.
Hey, this place is pretty depressing. We gotta get our entertainment somehow.
With the Lord of the Lands.
That was all Penny. I just played along. We all played along into it. Let's be real. I don't want to give him my name.
It's just a name for him.
Yeah, but a name has a lot of power sometimes.
The Fae, perhaps, but
We're already in his lands. I'm pretty sure we're just at the mercy already. Like, we forfeited it, walked in. Please take my blood, Daddy Strahd.
I actually
Don't
say
mind
that.
if I do.
Yeah, I know. It's just you can tell they're in a mood this morning. Just,
I didn't know you looked at Strahd that way, Aina.
I mean, everyone I look up to is technically, taller than me. They get different types of respect. This man buried me alive. I would literally call him anything he wanted me to.
And I brought you back to life. What would you call me?
An idiot.
I'll go step outside and try to commune with my patron. We can fix this.
Yeah, fine. Put me on the
1,
ground.
2, 3 times you make vague deals. Ha ha.
You still have not found out what your patron wants. That's the only reason I think you're an idiot.
As
We
I
made a
told
deal.
you, as I told you then, I don't really care about what happens to me.
You and I are in the same boat, but we're still here, stuck together.
Yeah, Balthazar kind of is like wincing a little bit. It would do us a lot better if we all took better care of ourselves. And he's like looking away and has a hand.
I am like staring a hole
Yeah,
in this
just-
man's head. Just
Both of them just turn their heads to stare, like, really?
yeah,
Really?
like just in unison at the same time.
Just whip their head around.
Alright, does that mean you're gonna heal yourself in battle? You're gonna take care of yourself. Keep yourself up. Help don't just throw yourself under a felled arrow.
A healthy life is a happy life.
Thank you,
will
Arik.
say, as he continues to clean a cup.
Arik, I've never seen you eat. What do you eat?
Well, it's impolite to eat while on the job.
But it's...
Yes?
I was going to say, it just seems like you're always on the job.
Well,
You sleep.
I do. I have...
Insight check.
I also
Yeah.
want to insight check.
You can roll. Yeah.
Insight rolls.
Oh, hey.
Heyo.
18. Not
Uh,
that bad.
He seems like he's telling the truth, and I will say on one of the nights I did describe him going downstairs into the only
Oh, the locked room!
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, this man looks like he could eat nightmares.
This man looks like he's part of the ones that's haunting this inn.
He does
Boogeyman era.
claim that he does eat as well, and that also seems to be correct. And as he will explain, I tend to eat a rather big lunch. We get lots of people here in the morning and in the evening for drinking, but in the middle of the day it is quite slow, though it has been a bit slow the past few days, without all of you to keep me company.
Feel free to just kick up your feet and just have a snack.
Yes, well, now I am a bit worried about the Sombri-os. It seems that it upset Harry's stomach, he says, glancing to the bathroom. I suppose I can have a bit of something. And, he will reach under the counter and pull up a granola bar and slowly start nibbling on it.
A Sombri-o granola bar.
That's right.
Little cereal bar.
Yeah.
No, it's Count Chocula.
Count Strahd.
We got Strahd.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's gonna munch on that.
Lost my train of thought just because I hyper-focused on Eric.
Absolutely. I believe y'all were bullying Balthazar to heal themselves.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, so, Balthazar, you are going to heal yourself, correct?
He's resolutely just not looking at people.
Balthazar, it's rude not to look at somebody that's talking to you.
Orm's just gonna whisper into Balthazar's ear. Look, Balthazar, you know I'm not very good at this cleric stuff, so if you go down, we're all screwed. Sure, we have Biner, but come on, man. I can't do this alone.
Balthazar just lets out a big sigh and lets his hand drop from his neck. And glances at Porum, and then at Ophelia, and then will meet Ina's gaze, and stay there. I won't make promises, but I'll try to.
As long as you put in the effort, that's all that cares. That's all that counts.
All right, that's all we ask.
So, again, are we planning on doing this dinner with Strahd right away?
We would prefer we not. At least not
Would-
immediately.
I would much rather take Irina and her brother up to Vallaki when Felicity goes, so they Velissa.
Vasily?
Vasily!
Melissa.
Melissa. The
Melissa.
Velissy.
Melissa. Oh my god.
When they return home, so we have someone to look after her that's competent.
Secretly preaching is.
So I guess whenever they are ready to leave, we'll leave with them.
Mhm.
Did say there'd be a couple days. They wanted to put someone in the Burgermeister's office, and we have so kindly pointed out Arik would be a great addition to the team. But they did give us the go-ahead to head off without them. They would catch up. And give us time to explore Velaki. And there is a traveling nomadic people that are around there. One is closer to the town and one is, I believe, like in between, Derek.
Yeah.
There's one group that supposedly is traveling somewhere along the road, from what you've heard, and then there is a more permanent settlement that is close to Balaki.
Yeah.
But speaking of these people, the owner of the bar would finally make her way out, and she seems to be in a rather happy mood compared to her more worried demeanor she's had the past few days. Greeting Ari and taking a bowl from him and making her way over to you, because there is a story that she has promised. And even though Biner isn't here, she's gonna say it. So we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do that in about 10 minutes. So we'll do that on the hour. We'll take a quick break right now, and I'll see all of y'all at the top of the hour. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Weird Ventures. We're playing Curse of Strahd today, and we've had a pretty chill session so far. Our party's been hanging out at the bar, discussing what they want to do next, discussing they should take up Strahd on his invitation, contemplating if their bartender is some kind of horrible nightmare-eating monster in a very drab disguise, and, you know, just having a good time. But they left off talking about the Vistani. And it just so happens that Vistani owns the bar. And she seems to be in good spirits, considering how awful Barovia is. As she gets a bowl of Arik's patented Sombri-o cereal, and begins making her way to the party's table. And as she does, with a smile, she looks to Ophelia and just says, Gorik got a full night's sleep. He's looking a lot better. I wanted to thank you, and if you see Biner, please pass my thanks on to him as well.
Of course. I was glad that I was able to help.
She gives a smile and a nod as she looks at the rest of the group. I did promise him a story, but I also don't want to wake him up. Let him sleep in, because it sounds like you had a very heavy day yesterday, but if you like, I could share it with you. He was curious as to why my bar, this inn, is remained, for the most part, unscathed by the zombies that have attacked this town. Would this be a good time? I don't mean to interrupt if you are in the middle of something.
No, you're fine.
Feel free to join us.
Very well. And with that, he is actually going to pull up a chair and take a seat.
No one can sit next to Ina.
Not necessarily that, but she seems to be sitting close to the fire, as if to keep warm. This isn't a story.
Let's scoot Balthazar here so I know the seatmate
Hell yeah.
Orm can actually sit on the table.
Yeah.
Whee!
This isn't a story that I share too often with people, because people of these lands jump to conclusions anyway, but at the very least I'm glad that you'll be able to hear them from me, as opposed to one of the villagers who may get it wrong, she would say. She runs a hand near the fire, and its flames seem to flicker and follow her fingers just a little bit as she does. The Vistani, my people, are an ancient people, been around longer than this land was called Barovia. And one thing I will say is true is that we are one of the few people who I suppose you could say are blessed. And as she says the word blessed, you do see on her face there is conflict in using that word. Her eyes a little furrowed, her voice uncertain. With Strahd's protection, since I own this bar, it belongs to the Vistani. It's one of the only safe havens from the undead can be found in this place, and that is part of why I set it up here. Barovia has no walls like the other towns you would find, and every attempt that's been made to build them, one catastrophe or another tears them down. Myself and Goric settled down here to give the people of this town some modicum of protection, a place to stay, though many are suspicious of the Vistani, and it's hard to blame them. Well, I say that, but anyone I feel would be a little bit suspicious of somebody on such good terms with a man like Strahd.
Their reluctance towards your people, the reason why they don't just hover in here when there's an undead attack?
He nods her. People have come up with many of their own stories as to why we've gotten our protection, why we're blessed, and do often direct their blame towards us when misfortune happens, which it does often in Barovia. Why should we be in such a elevated position when they are not? Things like that, she says softly. And there are some among my people, as there are no people who are all saints, who do utilize this elevated position for cruel acts. I won't act like it's not so, but, well, the whole reason why we got in this situation was supposed to be a benevolent one, she says softly. The story goes, and as she speaks, her hand moves towards the fire once more, subtly manipulating it, where you see in its flames a horse galloping with a man in armor on its back. Many horses at his side, seemingly doing a charge. It's been some great battle, clashing with another force, like two great waves of flame hitting each other. As they do, you see little tongues of fire, swords clashing against one another. The history of Barovia is one of conflict. Strahd was not born into his position. He is not from these lands. Originally, he conquered them. His armies and that of another waged a fierce war for many years. And as there are in any war, there were many casualties. And as she speaks, you see that lone figure that stood out in the flame, the armor, slaying final enemy, looking victorious for a moment before little darts of fire strike him in his shoulder and bring him low, arrows piercing him as he lays across the wood flame at the bottom. Hot coals. Strahd was one of these casualties. And to my people, the Vistani, hospitality is a sacred tenet. If somebody is in need of help and you have the resources to spare, they ask it of you. You do what you can to help them. And so often our caravans would travel and go across these battlefields, and there would not be many left alive. But this time, there was a man who we knew very little about, but he was in need of help. 2 arrows in his shoulder, dark hair, and quickly losing breath. So, we took him in, as we had people on the other side of this conflict as well. No way of knowing that he was the general leading one of these armies, and even if we had known the time, it probably wouldn't have mattered. We had no way of knowing whatever it was that he was to become. So, we cleaned his wounds, gave him a soft place to rest and heal as our caravan drew closer to the lands under his control. He got better and revealed who he was to us, and said that should he conquer these lands, that our people, the Vistani, would always be welcome there. According to the stories, for a few years after he won, that was absolutely the case. We were welcomed, celebrated. Everything was as lovely as could be. Then the mists came. But I suppose that promise still holds true to some amount, even after he became what he did. You're the only people allowed to leave this place, to travel through the mists, which is where the majority of the resentment we get from the people here comes from. You can imagine being trapped as they are. Even though we are able to leave, many of us stay or often return. The only real connection those stuck here have to the outside world. And it's the only way that light can creep in from the walls of fog. We do what we can, but this place is a bleak and unrelenting one. And with that, she lifts her hand away from the fire and sets it gently down on her lap as she turns to look at you, no doubt expecting that you may have some questions. Or not.
Notes.
Thinking thoughts, Derek.
Just catching up on the notes, Derek.
Oh, no.
You mentioned that people have a disdain for the Vistani, given you're closest to Strahd. Given the current Inquisitor of this town, has there been any attacks on the inn by the townsfolk?
She shakes her head no. But then does mention we have been somewhat short on customers since he's been starting his rallies, however. But no direct attacks made, I think.
Not yet.
Even they understand the inherent value a place that the dead don't go has. At least I hope that's the case, or maybe they just remember the times that I've tried to reach out and help them. I can't be certain.
Be surprised on what a frenzy of people can do and what they forget.
She nods her head softly.
Is there any places in Barovia that is run by Vistani that are like you're in?
There is the encampment outside of Valaki, though I have heard some troubling things as of late.
Oh,
What kind of troubling things?
I've heard that their current leader. Give me just one moment, because I want to make sure I get his name right. You would know what it is. Just a quick. There we go. Load. Sorry. While I wait for that, though, heard that the current leader has, well, leaned into the stereotype, I suppose you could say. He is an ardent supporter of Strahd and is very happy for his blessing. He's aligned himself with the Dark Lord of this land. His name is Luvash.
Yeah.
Should he be someone to be wary of then?
Potentially. I'd like to think that if you went into the camp asking for help, that they would follow the customs my people have. At the very least, no harm would come to you, but I can't say that if Strahd were to be the one coming to him, asking him for help first, that wouldn't override his intentions, if that makes sense.
I think it does. You mentioned that the Bastani can go between the mists.
And she nods her head.
How exactly? Are you just capable of stepping into it and coming back out to the other side?
Yes. We do have paths that are known to us that lead to many different realms. But if you were to try, you would most likely choke and suffocate and perish. Or find yourself lost, either forever or until one of us finds you and leads you back to Barovia. But never out of it, not unless Strahd decides.
Interesting.
Have you ever been out of the mist?
I have. I've spent plenty of time basking in the sun, getting to see the ocean, the colors that flowers can have. I do miss it very dearly sometimes, but at the very least I can keep some small number of people safe here. She gives a small smile to Arik, where he nibbles his granola. She says that.
Well, thank you for the story. I'll make sure to pass that along to Binor.
Thank you, she'd say with a small smile. I'll make sure my husband keeps getting that tea. Thank you for the recipe for it. If you have any other questions, I will do everything in my power to answer them and help you as much as I can. With that, she will scoot her chair back and set it over there and start munching on her cereal.
Yes,
Having
cereal.
her own breakfast, yeah.
Sombri-os.
And Sombri-os.
Body.
Well, certainly something to take in.
It still seems we're undecided on what we should actually do next.
There's... Feels like our list is so long, I'll be honest. Do we want to check? I know Porum wanted to check out the rally, but from everything we've heard so far about
But-
the Inquisitor, just an arrow straight to the neck might be the best bet at this point.
I'm not too concerned about that anymore. I think our best bet is to go to Barovia or Balaki.
Barovia.
The other B place, Balaki.
V.
V.
B.
Balak is the one that's somewhere
Balak.
fucked
You know
off.
what? It's a town named after Balak. It's Balaki.
Oh my gosh.
Valaki.
See, there's a B in there. Counts.
Yeah.
That is
Uh,
actually not how it's spelled, by the way. That was a
I-
joke.
Yes. I was... Yikes.
The B silent.
Yeah, the B is silent.
So because I wanted to make sure y'all had some time to discuss amongst yourself, but you had quite a bit of time. If you'd like more time to discuss by yourself, I'm gonna give y'all some creative sway here, because I can have Ismark and Irina make their way upstairs to join you in your discussion, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to continue discussing in private for a little bit more before I do that.
I would not be opposed
To having them
Alright.
come up?
having the two go. Yeah.
Give me a fresh set of thing.
Yeah. Alright. In that case, up they go. Yeah, you begin hearing some footsteps up on the stairs. And you would see first to come up, still looking a little bit wary from being stabbed in the chest. He's probably got a pretty big band-aid on him, or bandage wrapped around him rather.
That's just a band-aid.
Yeah, it's just a little band-aid. Ismark, Irina sort of almost doting on him a little bit, making sure he can walk okay. It's like, I'm fine, thank you. Thanks. He makes it to the top of the stairs and gives a small smile as he sees all of you. Back on my feet again. Hope I didn't make any of you worry too much. Thanks for...
Good to be on your feet so soon, and Balthazar's gonna stand up and go help Ismark. Make sure it isn't just Irina helping him up.
I'm fine, I promise. She's just very worried about me. Well, yeah, you got stabbed in the chest. Oh, it's fine. It's nothing I can't walk off.
Don't
Insight?
think you should,
Check
don't
this
think you should walk this off.
How's his his ability to watch it off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can roll insights if you like. He seems fine. Ophelia, y'all did use magic to stabilize him, so he's gonna be okay. He's sore as fuck, and like in a bit of pain, but there's not like a lingering injury. He's not exhausted or anything. He's just, got stabbed in the chest by a great sword is all. But he'll be okay, and you would both know about that. Know that. Just maybe take it a little bit easier. Just get him sitting somewhere get some Sombri-os in him.
God.
It's nutritious.
Alright. You can sit where I am. I was sitting words.
I appreciate it, Ophelia. But he does turn to you with a bit of an empathetic smile. He says, "I want you to know I don't hold whatever that lightning-y hand thing you did yesterday against you."
Yeah.
You struck him with lightning?
You were
I think I
there.
was passed out at that point. I think I was already unconscious.
Oh, were you
Yeah.
underground?
Yeah.
Not underground yet, but I think
Oh.
Ida was unconscious on the ground.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's about to be
Jesus.
put in the ground.
Yes, Ina.
It's okay.
Huh.
I've been put under like that too. Fucking sucks.
It's not great. I will probably think about it for a while.
I'm
It
glad that
wasn't-
you managed to get out okay.
Thanks to my
That's-
trusty spoon.
And Biner's
Ac-
shovel.
Actually, speaking of that, Balthazar's brows kind of pinched together. Where did that shovel go that I gave to Biner?
He's probably still got it, I think.
It should still be with him. And he didn't put it down.
It might be in his room still.
Because it seemed rather timely for me to have found it. There was something written on it. Now that I recall, I hadn't quite noticed it at the time, but something along the lines of, "It seems you might need this?"
Sounds like a gift to me.
Certainly that.
We definitely did need it, Irina will say. So glad that we had it.
It reminds me
As
of
I do.
the Grave
That's why.
Seekers.
The grave what, Ophelia?
The Grave Seeker Society.
Oh yeah, that's
Didn't Dahlia carry a shovel with her?
She did, but I think it was a bit longer than that one.
Oh yeah, it was.
Your shovel.
Oh my lord. Fail thing.
Getting crimes on this bar.
Mhm.
I'm just glad that I didn't have to use it to make a second grave for me, is all I'll say. As Mark says as he sort of leans across the table a little bit and just rests his head in his arms.
I don't know. He seemed polite enough to probably mold Orth to open one again.
Mm.
Bad joke,
Perhaps
I know.
we-
I got some good hits in, as Mark says with a little bit of pride on his face.
You must have been wanting to do that for some time.
Yeah, definitely did.
I feel that being put under like that.
It's not right. So just sort of shaking his head a little bit as Arik scoots in and will give him a nice bowl and then give one to Irina as well.
If we could get an extra bowl for him, I think that'd be great. He kind of deserves it.
Certainly. One must eat their Wheaties.
If you have frosted mini wheats, that's even better.
Irina, did you check your brother's bandages? How are they holding up?
I went ahead and I changed them just like you told me to last night. I think they're looking pretty good.
Good.
I've got to say, I definitely thought it was going to be much, much worse after the day we had yesterday, and after getting, a great sword to the chest, as I am fond of mentioning. That magical healing stuff you can do sure is something.
Thank you.
I'd say, give a small smile.
Again, I feel like it's only right after what happened.
It's okay. And Irina will say, "Yeah, it's all right. I just wish there's a way to prevent that from happening in the future." Ismark was so torn up about it. I'm glad to see you're doing okay for the most part, Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
Insight on
Oh
Ophelia.
gosh.
Right.
Everyone gets an insight.
I mean, it looks like you did a pretty good job, Ophelia.
God.
Oh.
I mean, Balthazar, you already know what's been eating at Ophelia
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, but still, sure, double check.
Ismark will turn to Ophelia. If you ever do need someone to talk to about it who's been through the same shit, I'd be happy to. Maybe over a drink, though.
Sure.
Maybe over some of Balthazar's sake, the narrator
know.
said.
Is it too
I
early
don't
to
know
start
if he has a
drinking?
lot.
Alcohol.
Yeah, no.
Alcohol.
Probably
Or just
not.
slamming on the table.
Oh, drinking this. Okay. I'm day drinking
I-
it is today.
I mean,
not
it's
going to have a drink.
It's like permanently 8 o'clock at night around here, so all day, every day.
You
Don't-
watch as Arik begins pouring some moonshine into the
Yeah.
milk of Ismark's second bowl.
No.
Oh no!
Oh,
No!
that's not where it goes.
Orm's gonna get the spray bottle. Bad Ulrich, bad.
Perhaps
Ulrich.
we don't get immediately drunk so early in the day.
The rise and shine.
Ugh. Ugh. I need some
Rise and
mimosas,
shine.
Arik.
No, I agree with Balthazar. We shouldn't be drinking right now.
Only I was
Fair.
awake last night for some drinking. Smart,
Ye-
will say, but then he'll lift himself up.
We definitely did some
Compose
drinking
Much
himself a
drinking
bit
to
more.
be had.
There were some drinks.
I know we were still talking about possible plans. I mean, if we wanted to, while we kill some time, if we wanted to wait for name, escape, my brain is a P. I hate my brain. What's his name?
Penny?
No.
Found it out.
Sexy
Peter?
man. Sexy man.
Vasily is not a P.
Silly.
Vasily?
No, I said I have a P brain. I hate my P brain.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh.
It's I heard it started with a P and I was like,
Yes.
No.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
said damn P brain.
Vasily.
Yes, Vasily Daddy. Um,
Mm.
if we wanted to wait for Vasily, could take the time here and figure out this boogeyman situation. I mean,
We might have to if we're staying another night, and whether or not it might target someone else or come after me again.
we do have 2 clerics, and Ina's pretty knowledgeable in occult and arcane stuff. Ophelia's pretty magically we're all pretty handy. I think we can do with it.
Were we planning on staying another night? Irina asked.
Did you want to get leaving sooner?
If the places we're going are actually safe, I feel like getting there sooner rather than later would be good. Ismark will add in.
True. I don't know much about the medical sense of your wound, but I think maybe another day might do you better. And Ina's just gonna look to Ophelia and is like, can he travel like that? Is he safe?
He would be safe.
He could travel like that, although I'd prefer to still have him get some more bed rest. Or at least rest.
You heard the doctor. More bed rest.
Well, if we could get like a carriage of some sort, we could have him just lay in it.
I don't know if we would find the horses we were looking for.
The horses here.
The horses here are kind of
I
a
don't
little
think,
maggoty
I
for
don't-
my
Undead?
taste.
Yeah, I don't think there are any horses left, sadly. And we haven't had anyone skilled enough to make a carriage in quite some time.
How about like a donkey and a piece of plywood attached to some wheels?
A sled?
Yes,
I mean,
well,
Biner could carry him. Worst comes to worst.
that's true.
Swaddle him like a baby.
Willing is the
Yeah.
thing.
A little
Just
baby
me.
to the chest.
We don't. Ina, just because I'm sure you prefer to be carried that way, doesn't mean that.
Oh, Jill.
I'm actually quite capable of navigating the woods
Poor
better than you
Joe.
probably are, miss.
I mean, the first time we did meet Ophelia, you're kind of lost in the woods.
That's true.
I am lost in the woods.
I'm willing to suck it up and walk if it means we can get my sister somewhere safe faster. Don't
I'm
want to
just
rush you to get out of town either, though.
I'm just concerned if we run into anything out there.
I mean, on our way here, we ran into creatures.
I'm pretty sure we're just gonna run into something at this point.
We can't just sit in the tavern for forever.
Or can we?
Yeah,
Well,
this is the game.
Yeah, this is it. Strahd has come to us.
Listen, we'll just start playing Tavern Simulator.
Uh,
He can't even come get us because this is owned by the Vistani.
No, he can
Same
come
here.
get us.
yeah, he could still come get us.
It's just safe from the undead.
Mayor Arik will turn this into town hall and give you all government jobs.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Pencil pusher, let's go.
I call bar wench.
Balthazar is gonna be just the prettiest secretary.
You gotta work on that. Actually, you don't have to work on that secretary face. Balthazar has a pretty good secretary face, I feel like.
Yes, he does.
I mean, if we want to do this boogeyman thing, we don't necessarily have to wait till nighttime, do we?
It's always night.
I mean, sleepy Betty time.
You know what? I'm willing to test a theory. Let's see if
What
it
would that
goes
theory be?
after a nap. And Ina's just gonna get up and go downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Ida, please don't go alone.
I know.
Fine.
Whee!
Everybody's running.
Are you coming, Ophelia?
downstairs.
No,
No.
he's not a child.
You're right, I'm 60 years old. Leave me alone. I'm an old man.
I'm
If you
not.
hear screaming, you know what to do.
I'm not going. My cereal is gonna get soggy.
Damn fucking stairs.
He's not a child, but he is fragile as all hell.
I'm coming
s-
back for you, babe.
Idiot.
I'm coming back.
They seriously
Oh, sorry,
baited.
sorry. I got it.
Just file into the room.
Yeah.
I was just gonna like look at everyone fall. The fuck, guys?
Yeah, I'll pile it in as you pass by the loud sound of Penny and snoring, floating still.
Floating again.
Oh yeah, that's right. You took Penny up.
Yeah.
It
I
would be
swallowed her.
hilarious if now the bed sheet is floating, and so you think
Yeah.
it's a boogeyman for a moment because it's just.
Take a flight.
But no.
What if she's just like still wrapped up in the blanket? She's just a little floating burrito.
Biner is cold. But yes, y'all get down there into the room. Ina, you have 2 clingers.
Oh god. I'm just gonna keep their back turned to them and it's just gonna like promptly like throw their sheets off to like tuck themselves in, like get ready to go to bed essentially, and just they're mumbling under their breath. I know you're still hungry, and it's gonna be easier to push somebody that's more morally gray. Somebody that has lost a lot and was just recently buried alive.
Oh
Are you
Jesus.
hungry? And Ina's just gonna get into bed. And
How quietly is Ina saying that?
they're mumbling.
Saying
But
a different language.
You can probably pick it up. They're saying it in common.
Uh,
I don't
And,
think tempting the creature is a good idea, Ina.
it's for science. And they're just gonna roll over.
swear.
This child loves to sleep. They may not have good dreams all the time. Oh boy, do they like to sleep.
ooh, do I do it?
Uh-huh.
Do I have the spell slot for it? I do not, but I can upcast it.
I will. As I'm laying down, I will remember mage armor.
All right. Very
Oh,
nice.
please, Miguel. Remember your mage armor.
Every morning.
Maybe it would be easier if it was someone they've already targeted?
Nope.
That's what I was thinking.
See, let's see. My science opinion is if it can target somebody else. If it already targeted someone.
I mean, out of character, it potentially already targeted Porum, right?
Potentially. Maybe it was just, looking there. All Ina saw was a vague, shadowy-esque shape, but felt like more it was just light playing a trick in their eyes, which, the info you've got now, that is a way I'm at least letting y'all get a sense for things that are in the ethereal plane, because normally you just wouldn't be able to see them at all. So sometimes you may see a little something, but it feels more like, the light's playing a trick on my eyes, because it feels right to me, I guess is what I'm saying. But you didn't have a nightmare that night, Porum, so...
And then, just to clarify too, because I remember you mentioned it last session.
Yeah.
Protection from evil and good doesn't. I know the nightmare won't happen, but does it stop the creature from appearing as well?
I mean, protection from
That is
evil
a
and
question.
good protects somebody for like 10 minutes, I think. So that probably wouldn't have any effect on if it appears or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
How long does it take for Ina to fall asleep, RJ? How quickly can they fall asleep?
Honestly, probably quickly enough. If you notice, Ina does not like to wake up in the mornings, ever. This man rather just sleep away the life at this point.
Mood.
Yeah.
But again, I want a science.
All right. Are Porum and Balthazar just gonna be hanging out there as Ina goes to sleep? Just chilling, watching as Ina sleeps.
Balthazar is actually gonna take a seat on the bed, and he's not gonna look at Ina, but it's just like gonna sit and sort of try to be mindful of the pressure in the room to see if he could potentially sense if and when it approaches.
Okay.
Orm will just sit on the floor in the corner and just watch the two.
Okay.
Guys, they might not come in. I'll just swarm the room.
Is Ophelia? Oh yes. What?
I was just very terrified. I mean, the fact that it comes into the room when there's multiple occupants, it probably won't stop it.
I mean, yeah, but that's when everyone's sleeping. Y'all are just staring, waiting.
Balthazar's not staring, he's meditating. He is waiting.
Excellent. Question for you, Ina. How long do you think Ina would do this for before calling it, would you say?
Oh, honestly, they would aim to get at least a 4-hour nap out of it either way.
Okay. Good to know.
They're going for the nap, regardless.
Alright. Ophelia, are you doing anything upstairs while these goobers are doing that?
Oh yeah, I'm going to talk to Irina and Ivar and just say, could you two just hang tight for a moment? There's a couple things I wanted to go in town for.
Sure.
Thanks. I will be right back. And she's gonna leave. As she's walking past Ulrich, though, she's gonna detect magic.
Sure.
I just don't trust your bartender anymore.
Nope.
It's funny, because as you walk past Ulrich, he does look to the owner and asks if he can go on break.
Oops. Sorry.
You don't detect
I don't know where
anything.
that point is.
You don't detect anything from Ulrich.
Okay. Sorry, Derek, if you could get rid of that.
He's
That's sort of...
No, it's all good. He's devoid of magic.
Okay.
He's an unmagical boy.
Oh.
He's just a regular man.
The man with a creepy demeanor.
Well,
Thank you for the breakfast, Ulrich.
you are most welcome. Madam, may I go on break for a bit?
Oh,
Of course, Ulrich. Thank you. She will go behind the bar. As Ophelia, you go outside. Ulrich will then begin making his way downstairs. And a question for y'all. Forum, you're the closest to the door. Is the door actually open, or is it not open?
RJ, would Ina want the door closed?
I mean, they were trying to close it on you guys the first
I'll
time
just
and
close the
gave
door.
up.
Okay.
I'll close it.
Y'all baby.
He's literally the most fragile. We don't want him to die again.
And then
He's
He's in his 60s.
Yeah.
at some point, Derek, Porum would detect evil and good.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know why I have a thingamabob, but I have a thingamabob.
All right.
Oh my god.
So
huge.
there's a 4-hour time limit. This lasts 10 minutes. At what point would you be casting this?
I would probably do it.
Oh, there's
Definitely
something
when
fun you will discover, though.
definitely when he feels that Aina is in a deep sleep rather than just like a light sleep. So maybe like a good hour and a half in, maybe 2 hours in.
Yeah. Uh, good to know. Then this would happen before you cast Detect Good, Evil, and Good. Another question for you. There is a very... I forgot to mention all the rooms have this. There is a small cloth ribbon that has the words "Do not disturb" on it. Has a little tie. Would that be on your doorknob?
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
No?
No.
Do not
No.
disturb is not on the doorknob?
Because we never used them yet. So no.
Okay. In that case, there will be a very soft knock on the door for him. Probably not loud enough to wake Aina up.
I could sleep through fucking marching horses.
Depending on how long it's been, I'm gonna just say Balthazar passed out.
No!
Well, then for him, only you hear the soft knock.
Hello?
Hello. It is Arik.
I have a feeling.
Am I interrupting anything?
No, I was just about to fall asleep, Art.
Oh, we can probably discuss this later then.
What's up? It's fine.
I had heard you speaking about some kind of boogeyman. I thought I might be of some assistance.
Horan would just get up and slightly open the door enough to where like there's a crack where he can see Arik's face and Arik can see Horan's face.
He's standing there with a new granola bar in his hand that he is gently munching because it is his break. And he would say, "I heard that you have been seeing something strange at night.
Your neighbor
I did
does?
not mean to eavesdrop. But
No,
I do
it's
take
okay.
the comfort of my patrons very seriously." Sorry, I didn't quite get that. Migs.
No, you're good. What did I say? So what information do you have, Art?
Well, I have seen strange things on occasion. The downstairs area, though. Most have not believed me when I've spoken of it. I was curious what it was that you saw, and if it matched what I have seen.
What have you seen?
Well, there have been a few nights where once in a while I have thought I have seen a strange presence. Usually it's turns out when I get up and light a candle to be my coat's on a rack, strange shape, or well, sometimes even my own shadow. There has been a feeling as though something is watching. Once I swore I saw something standing behind me and I looked in the mirror in the storage room.
The storage room. Hmm.
Yeah,
Have you felt the presence upstairs as well, or is it mostly downstairs?
mostly downstairs. So I often come down in the evening hours when it's time for me to sleep.
And are there any specific rooms where activity seems to be most to be the most?
I've only really witnessed anything like that in my own room, and at a time in the storage room, in the mirror. But hearing that you have experienced something in your room is no longer something that is just bothering me, it is bothering my beloved customers. That makes it a problem worth investigating further.
And have you had any strange nightmares?
Oh, I have never dreamed.
Never? Insight check.
Yeah, you can roll insight check.
Is Arik a reborn?
Nat 20.
He has never dreamed
Yo.
once in his life.
Hmm.
And he is being 1000% certain. You can ask him further questions, and I will tell you if he is lying as he answers them regarding the subject with your nat 20 if you like.
That's a little concerning. What do you mean you've never dreamed before? That's almost impossible.
I close my eyes. It is a blackness. And then I awake. It is not too uncommon. I
But
do not think.
but you had never have dreamt even as a child.
No.
How old are you now?
I'm 26.
He's so young.
He said he had a son.
It's true.
He's younger than Balthazar.
He had a son once. And he doesn't
There's
look
no way
26, but
Yeah,
for
there's
him,
no way
with your
to-
nat 20, he is 20. He is 26.
A
This-
lot of people are
this place is
26.
just it ages people. It's a rough life to
Hit him
live.
really hard.
Have any other family members had that same experience of not dreaming? Do you remember?
Others at the orphanage have, yes.
Oh,
Writing note. Which orphanage was this?
I'm afraid it burnt down quite long ago.
I'm still curious. Maybe there's something left in the ruins. Like, did it burn down completely, or is it like just portions have been burnt and
No.
it's just abandoned?
It became burnt, and then they grabbed the wood and whatever remained and disassembled it to create more houses to replace the other houses that have burned down. We haven't really had too much of an orphan problem since, so I suppose it wasn't necessary to build a new one.
Was any of that wood used to build or repair this tavern?
No, this tavern It's been here ever since the owners constructed it. It has remained quite safe. I feel blessed to be allowed to stay here and not have to worry about the undead. Though, knowing that there is perhaps some kind of strange, shadowy figure upsetting my guests, is a threat that might disrupt that peace. Seems
Has this
quite
shadow
alarming.
figure ever tried to touch you?
I do not believe so. I tried to reach out and touch it once, but when I did, I then realized that I was simply reaching out and touching a bookshelf. The light came on. It was merely that I had not arranged my books yet for that week.
And have you heard any disembodied voices? Any cold shivers that seem unnatural?
No, I can't say that I've ever felt cold.
You've never felt cold?
No,
Art, can you see your hand for a second?
certainly.
I'm gonna touch his hand.
Touch his hand. It's not cold to the touch for you. It's not particularly warm either. It's just, it's a hand. It's rough and calloused from lots of work and no doubt a very hard life, but just a hand. If you want,
Am
you could
I-
do a medicine check or something.
Sure.
Okay.
And my spell isn't pinging on anything, right?
Celestial, Elemental, Fane, Peter, Undead? Nope. Not
Okay.
undead. Yeah. Seems healthy enough. Though, again, a bit more warm than your average 26-year-old man.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the things you've been telling me are kind of concerning, but you seem healthy enough.
Thank you. I do try to eat healthy foods, keep myself nutritious. He takes another little nibble.
And I take it that his demeanor has not changed at all, during this whole conversation.
His demeanor hasn't changed pretty much since you've seen him. Like when you first came in. His face has pretty much always looked like this.
Face of a 26-year-old.
That's right.
Right.
26-year-old man.
Pour him behind the wall next to him so Art can't see, even though I'm pretty sure he's seen them do magic. He's gonna druidcraft a rose, but he's gonna keep some thorns on it.
Mhm.
Why must you bully this man?
I am doing things for science right now.
Yeah, I am not allowed to.
I mean, you're doing it right now. Ulrich, Porum's just going to pull out a rose and just say, well, thank you for all the information that you've been able to give us. It's been really, really helpful. And as a thank you present, I actually have a rose here. If you would like a flower.
Yes. It's not often that you have seen flowers. They're quite rare in these parts. Are you sure you would wish to give a lowly barkeeper something so valuable?
You've been more than you've gone above and beyond for us the past couple times you've been here, so of course.
Thank you
And
very kindly.
Porum's going to give him the flower, but quote unquote accidentally as accidental as he can make it, kind of just like prick his palm.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Ugh.
Yikes. Do you have inspiration?
I don't have inspiration.
Sucks to suck.
I know. I-
Alright.
Yeah, I don't have inspiration. I was like, I don't think I should. It's been a while since I've done
Wait, why is it a 0.5? What the fuck? What? What?
Okay.
Well,
It's a little bit extra.
it's a negative 0.5.
A little
What?
bit extra.
A little bit less is what it's saying.
What?
just a little bit less.
How?
Listen.
Well, it
I'm sorry.
shouldn't be that. And he rolled a 5, and he gets a +0. That's the exact same that you rolled. So, Migs, high or low for me?
Out of a D20?
Yeah.
Let's do low.
Excellent.
Ooh.
You prick his palm as he tries to reach for it gently. Let's fix him. His face does not change as he is pricked, but he does seem to notice it. He says, "Oh dear, I seem to have wounded myself. Thorns can be so tricky."
Horror was just gonna look down and be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot to trim the thorns off this rose. Just give me 2 seconds and I'll fix that for you. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
All shall be forgiven, not to worry. A small prick is a small price to pay for such a beautiful flower. And he is bleeding a little bit as he takes his hand away. And he is going to duck into his room real quick to grab a bandage.
It looked like normal blood, right?
Yeah. Red
Okay.
blood. It was green and neon. No. Yeah.
He's a gummy bear.
Yeah, he comes back shortly and has a little bandage wrapped around his palm. Yeah. The most notable thing is that his face did not react at all to being pricked. As it has not reacted since y'all have met this man.
Nothing can bother this man.
Or was just gonna hand him back the rose, this time dethorned, and just say, I'm so sorry. I didn't not mean for that to happen. Clumsy me.
Roll me a deception if you would.
Oh god. Okay.
I'm just gonna roll a d20 because his thing is fucked up. He looks at you with those unemotive eyes. Why would you try to hurt me with such a beautiful flower?
I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. Like I did not think the thorns would be there.
He knows. And you
He
can see it
knows.
in his face that he knows you know. But he just looks at the flower.
He knows that you know that I know that you know.
That's right. And even though you know he knows that you lied, he does still tuck it into his pocket.
And just as an extra thank you, Porum is just going to quickly craft a sunflower and give it to him.
He inspects
This
it for
one doesn't
thorns.
have. This one doesn't have thorns. I promise you.
He inspects it for thorns. And
I trust you.
takes it very gingerly. Thank you for the sunflower. And he will put that in his adjacent pocket on the other side of his shirt. And so now he just has a rose and a sunflower sticking out of his two breast pockets.
Now you look extra dapper.
Thank you, Porum.
But if you see anything, just let us know, okay?
I shall. Now, I must resume my break. And he will enter his room and shut the door behind him.
Well, that was interesting. Porum's is gonna quickly check up on Balthazar and Aina, see how they're doing.
I think they're both asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Porum's just going to go back to the corner then and just keep an eye on things.
Excellent. Then as you wait there, Porum and Ophelia makes their way out towards Mary's house once again, leaving Irina and Ismark alone in the bar with Sorvia. Fortunately, because we are missing people, I do think this is where we will call it for today, so we can have everyone gather together again next week. But I do have some sad news before that, which I will go ahead and let you know early, which is Aina. The 4 hours will pass uneventfully.
I had a free nap out of it.
Yeah. You did get a free nap out of it, but yes. So y'all will be waking up, and I will be saying that's probably going to be around the time that Biner and Penny are also waking up, so that way y'all can interact with each other at the start of next session. All while Ophelia is going over to Mary's. And something interesting will happen along the way. Won't that be fun? But for now, yeah, won't that be fun?
No.
Yeah, but for now, something interesting will happen along the way. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and just do some stars and wishes as we wrap over the night. So,
Wait, what did I miss?
oh, I just implied that something interesting would happen on Ophelia's trek to Mary's
dear.
house. But yeah, let's do some stars and wishes. We'll start with Migs today. Migs, any stars or wishes for you?
Stars, just RP with people. I'm glad we were able to do stuff with Ophelia today,
Another bar venture.
since Corey wasn't able to be here last week. It was nice to catch up.
Absolutely.
And then wishes. I wish we can get out of this bar soon. Soon.
Y'all are the one that's like, I want to sleep for 4 hours.
At the same time,
Listen.
I wish we do get some government jobs out of this.
They could have followed Ophelia.
It's true. I was amazed. But yes. Wishes for government jobs. I love it.
I want to see Secretary Balthazar.
I love how y'all are simultaneously the most suspicious of Arik and also want him to be mayor of town.
Listen, he's just got some good policies, all right?
That's
Does.
what makes him mayor. Suspicious, but also
He has good points.
I love it. Right, RJ, that'll bring us to you. Any stars or wishes for today?
I really liked all the RP today. It was a good RP session, chill.
Yes. Nice chill time. Any wishes?
My wish is for Aina to stop being babied a little bit.
As was fair.
We gotta swaddle ya.
Please don't. Let me science.
Let me science in peace.
Well, I'm excited for y'all to learn more about what's going on. It'll be fun. But that'll bring us up to Cosmic. Any stars or wishes for you?
Same as everyone else. All the RP has been great. I've realized mistakes as to leaving Ophelia alone.
Fine.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's the worst
Oh,
that
yeah,
could
well,
happen?
you
She
know,
buys a
very
pretzel?
fun.
Listen,
It makes
you guys
another
gotta,
deal.
y'all gotta dote on Ina.
Great.
It's not like Ophelia's like soul for soul or something like that. She's fine.
It's not like she's gonna tell you guys about it either.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You've only got one soul. Ophelia's sold twice, so you know. Gotta be
Yeah,
something
man.
more than that.
Listen, if you keep selling it, then it becomes a legal battle for the 14 entities that are claiming it. So
Only it's one entity that's bought it twice.
I mean, that's fine. Right
They
now,
double
Dragon.
own it.
But
Right
can he
now.
prove it? Did he have any receipts?
yeah. Where's my contract? Like,
Oh, there's
You're
a
the one that's not
contract.
asking.
Don't you worry. It is magically binding. But yes.
Is it legally binding?
yeah, it could be magically binding, but is that legal? Like, can I have the laws of Barovia?
Yeah. The laws of Barovia are Strahd, and what Strahd says goes. So, you know.
So what I'm hearing is you gotta get in good with Strahd.
That's right.
Works for me.
You
Works
gotta
for me.
you gotta get the P team's foot in the door there.
Oh my fucking god.
We never got to discuss party names.
Nope. Party
Listen,
name should probably be
y'all-
decided when everyone's here anyway.
Y'all can discuss it while Ophelia's just out for a little bit.
That's right.
Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. Oh, they're
Listen,
gonna
this
they're
party
gonna
is a
think there's
mess.
another orgy going on.
God.
That is why Arik, I asked if y'all put a do not disturb on the door, by the way.
I figured.
But that'll bring us up to Corey. Corey, any stars or wishes for you?
Yeah, stars again, just like the RP. I loved all of our just random, I shouldn't say random, it just sort of felt like it was on a whim suspicion of Arik.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, I just all of a sudden was just like, yeah, but what if it's Arik?
Nobody has dived this deeply into Arik, so it has been fun to reveal all his little eccentricities.
He's interesting. Now he
I-
doesn't feel pain. Like,
Yeah.
He's just a strange man. Leave him alone.
Perfect for mayor. Mayor material.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. I loved your, like how you're playing it with him just eating.
Yeah.
Just making it like the weirdest thing that anyone's ever eaten like before.
Yeah. One little grain of granola at a time.
Wishes for next week is I'm excited to explore the town on my own. And even though Mary's was a pit stop, I actually had another goal in mind.
Oh, interesting. You should let me know what it is, so if I have
Oh,
to
of
prepare
course.
a map, I can
I will.
do
I will.
that.
I will definitely let you know.
Marvelous. My stars and wishes. Big star that y'all are delving into Arik because it's been fun. I love the strategy of let's all pile into Ina's room, even if sadly it did not work. And I'm glad y'all got to get that little Vistani story and finally get to call Balthazar out on not healing themselves in a proper manner. It's good stuff.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. And, even if he doesn't get a room, at least Harry Shits can now walk around the tavern like a normal human, if he chooses to. But, his bathroom's just so cozy for him. But yes, my wishes for next week are that we get to do some extra tavern activities, like extracurricular, like outside of the tavern,
like your money?
tavernly activities. get to enjoy ourselves a little bit of that. You know, you slept in today. It's a bright moon outside. Get out there and have a little bit of adventure. Good time. Um, let's see. Any other stars or wishes? Dane watching, claiming that there's going to be a plot twist that Penny is actually 100 years old to counterbalance Arik being 26. Dane predicts that Corey will be ambushed, and also just enjoyed people being paranoid. She enjoyed the implied orgy, and also the weird granola munching NPC. Sus but trust, the man doesn't dream. And yeah, with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream for today. Y'all are all lovely, as you often are. By often, I mean pretty much always. Thank you so much for watching. And thank my players for being lovely players. And I'll see everybody next week. Hopefully we'll have a full party. And then we can really tear up the town. Bye, everybody!
Come on.
Bye.
Bye.